All right, how about a little late night Lombardi after Sunday night football saw the Baltimore Ravens, perhaps the best team in the AFC, take down the Chargers. And Justin Herbert, who ever since the Chargers drafted Herbert, they're 30 and 31. They had a point differential of -1 prior to this game. It's going to be -11 now. They lost by 10 points today. Not a big surprise. Chargers, they've been mediocre here for a while. But we've got some news for 49ers Eagles. The point spread is live. 49ers are officially favorites heading into Philadelphia. At least they're opening as favorites. We'll see if that changes or if that grows, but it's 1.5 point favorites for the 49ers over the Eagles. Now, I was on a little bit earlier. I gave you Philadelphia splits, number 6 offense, number 17 defense, number 19 against the run. They haven't really been tested much against the run, but when there have been leverage situations against decent offenses against the run, the Eagles have struggled. I think today against the Bills, they struggled. The Eagles have a better record than their metrics would suggest. They're, I think, plus 64 point differential. The 49ers are at plus 140 with a worse record. But the 49ers are favorites. It's interesting because, you go back to the start of the season, and everybody looked at all the 49ers games and said they're going to be favored probably in every game except for the one in Philadelphia in early December. But the 49ers have been playing well enough, especially over the past 3 weeks, and the Eagles have been just barely skating by recently that and these metrics are, I think, prevalent enough now to where people say, hey, the 49ers, you look at Philly, they win a lot of grimy games. They're tough. They're obviously a very difficult out, but the 49ers may just be the juggernaut that can blow any semblance of gritty victory, skin of the teeth kind of stuff out of the water. I think that's what the line reflects. But the line also reflects that Philadelphia, probably has the capability to keep this game close. So maybe the 49ers are going to have to deliver their first truly gritty victory of this 2023 season. Obviously, the 49ers cannot overtake Philadelphia in this game, but Philly's got Dallas after that. So the 49ers, if they win this, they'll be in position, I think, still to pounce. They just need help from elsewhere. They did not get it against the Bills today. Philadelphia caught a lot of breaks against Buffalo. Now, you could talk about the officiating, but I would rather talk about the drops for the Buffalo Bills, following up on the drops from the Kansas City Chiefs the week prior against the Philadelphia Eagles. Really, really tough situation. 49ers want that bye week. It's not going to come easily, though, because the Eagles keep on winning. They are 10-1. With the 49ers, I mean, that shows you the type of esteem the general public and I guess I should say the betting sharps hold the 49ers in 1.5 point favorites against a 10-1 Philadelphia Eagles team. All right, so we're going to run a little Sunday evening Q&A here just to get the week warmed up. It's crazy, isn't it? Eagles are 10-1 and play at home, and the 49ers are the favorite. It takes a little bit to wrap your head around that. But again, 49ers are going to be going against the Eagles here with the number 1 offense against the number 17 defense. It's a pretty lopsided ranking mismatch, right? Philadelphia has the number 6 offense against the 49ers number 8 defense. That being said, the 49ers defense has been playing at a number 1 level here over the past 3 weeks. So I think in both matchups, the 49ers have the efficiency edge. Now, undeniably, Philadelphia has won gritty games this year, and the 49ers have not yet won gritty games this year. So I think that's going to be one of the main storylines entering Philadelphia. Will the 49ers, if it's needed, if they don't blow the Eagles out of the water, will they be able to pull out a gritty game? Because Jalen Hurts, those guys, they're battle tested. There's something to be said about the fact that those guys have won a lot of games with that unit, and they're winning a lot of those closer games this season. I don't think it's all just luck. But again, the point differential isn't plus 140 like it is with the 49ers. It's plus 62 or plus 64 with the Eagles. And it's that way because they haven't been as efficient as the 49ers. So the 49ers clearly have that edge in this football game. Jalen versus Brock 2. You might as well say it's Jalen versus Brock 1. We didn't get to see the matchup last year. Brock Purdy just got hurt too early in the game. He was 4 of 4, the final line, but the 49ers certainly would have liked him to have been healthier than just be able to throw 4 passes in the game. I think that right now the betting markets say that Jalen Hurts has a better chance than Brock Purdy, but it doesn't really matter right now. I think next week is going to be the game that puts somebody on the true inside track for the NFL MVP award. So if Brock Purdy leads the 49ers win in Philly, things will change really, really quickly. Oh, that's true. Hurts and Purdy in college. That was a great game too, right? It was a shootout. Oklahoma against Iowa State. Did Purdy get him? I forgot that. Here, let me look that up. Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, college. The Sooners eked out a 42-41 victory. Hurts threw 3 touchdowns and rushed for 2 more, while Purdy tied a school record for touchdowns by a single player with 6, 5 through the air, and 1 on the ground. Awesome. The duel between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. Unfortunately, we didn't get a rematch in the NFC Championship game because of the injury, but maybe we'll see one this time. Hopefully, both guys stay healthy and we see a nice, fun game in Philly on Sunday. Current forecast, I think there's like a 50% chance of rain. It's still too far out to be really certain about it. So check back on Wednesday, Thursday, and I think it'll start zeroing in with a little bit more accuracy. Today it was raining all game for Philadelphia against Buffalo. How can the 49ers replace Odom and his contribution to special teams? Well, I think that Darrell Luter Jr. is going to have a big part of the 49ers trying to replace George Odom. Far right of your screen, Darrell Luter Jr., first kickoff return for the Seahawks in this game. This is dude speed. So if Darrell Luter Jr. is in the right gaps and makes the right reads on special teams, I think that's one of the ways the 49ers can try to replace George Odom. Now, George Odom is leading or second in the league in special teams tackles, led the NFL last year in special teams tackles. So this is not going to be an easy fill-in for the 49ers. But that's just one thought. Where's Philly weak on defense? I don't like their linebackers. I don't like their run defense. It was similar last year, but they had Ndamukong Suh. They added a couple of guys last year around the deadline that made them better down the stretch against the run. This year, again, Philadelphia, they haven't given up a lot of rushing yards, mainly because they've won a lot of games, and generally that's correlated with not giving up as many rushing yards just due to opportunities. But the Eagles have given up the number 19 rushing EPA per play. So I think that they're focused on pinning their ears back, getting after the passer. Hassan Reddick on the play that he hurt Brock Purdy, he was just gung-ho on rushing the passer. I think that the standard run game, if you can stay balanced, stay ahead of the chains, I think you can move it against these guys. The Bills certainly did today. Even in crunch time, they're late. They made a nice adjustment to the run game. And I don't think the linebackers are good either. So I think the pass rushers focus on rushing the quarterback so you can keep them off balance, because I think there are running gains to be had against this Philadelphia front and their linebackers. Now, if you talk to Deebo Samuel, he doesn't think that James Bradbury, the cornerback, is very good. He thinks that Darius Slay is a lot better than Bradbury, but we'll see if the 49ers can exploit that matchup on the back end. All right, just wanted to share the quick news with you. The 49ers are 1.5 point favorites over the Eagles to open up. We'll keep track of how this moves over the course of the week, but it's a big one in the NFC coming up in 7 days. In 7 days, we'll know the result of 49ers Eagles.